What's going on, Inner Wealth Champions? You're checked in with Amir Devere. Welcome back. And before we get started with today's video, I wish you all inner wealth, which we know is the overall state of our holistic health. And so, in today's video, I want to explore what is nutritional psychiatry. And so, without wasting any time, nutritional psychiatry is a field that is dedicated to studying how specific nutrients affect the psychological, mental, and emotional health of an individual. So, food has a direct role in mood, it has a direct role in emotional regulation, it has a direct role in psychological processes. So, this field of nutritional psychology, it explores how specific nutrients then have an impact on one's psychological, mood, emotional health. And so, before we get into some key nutrients to consider when thinking about psychological health, I do want to reground us in the gut microbiome and the gut-brain axis. I know we explored this briefly in a previous video, but just to reiterate, the gut-brain axis is the bidirectional communication pathway between the gut and the brain. And so the vagus nerve is the primary communication pathway between the gut and the brain. And if there's inflammation in the gut, this actually travels to the brain and can create neuroinflammation, which is inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. And so then a negative feedback loop is created where inflammation derived from the gut that created neuroinflammation is then further exacerbated because of this bidirectional communication pathway. And so some nutrients that I do want to strongly suggest for those who are concerned about their brain health would be magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, zinc, and iron as well. And so even vitamin D as well. And so for today's video, I do want to focus on the importance of these nutrients. And so let's start with omega-3 fatty acids. So omega-3 fatty acids actually help form the myelin sheath, which is a protective fatty layer on the outside of its cell located in the outer cell membranes. And so this protective layer, it actually contributes to membrane fluidity, which actually has an influence on how fast a signal is sent and received, right? So everything about someone who has brain fog or who's not alert or who takes a extended amount of time to respond, they may benefit from omega-3 fatty acid increased intake or supplementation depending on their current nutrient status and levels. And so omega-3 fatty acids play a crucial role in myelination. They play a crucial role in membrane fluidity, and they also play a crucial role in synaptic plasticity and neurotransmission and neurogenesis as well. And so synaptic plasticity, neurotransmission is the communication between neurotransmitters at synapses, which are the site of neurotransmitter communication. And then synaptic plasticity is the ability of the brain to create and adapt to new neural pathways as well. So think about cognitive functions related to learning and memory. Synaptic plasticity will play a key role in terms of cognitive function related to learning and memory. Magnesium actually is really, really critical. So magnesium binds to NMDA receptors and it regulates neuronal excitability, and also binds to GABA receptors, which stands for gamma-aminobutyric acid, which creates feelings of relaxation, right? And so it also regulates the neuronal excitability. So magnesium is important in brain health when we think about reduction in anxiety, right? And worrying. So magnesium is able to relax and calm the nervous system. I know I mentioned zinc. So zinc plays a primary role in synaptic plasticity and neurotransmission. And so zinc is another nutrient I would definitely strongly suggest. And then I know I mentioned iron. So iron again plays a crucial role in the transport of oxygen, and so it is important to have a healthy supply of oxygen to nerve cells throughout the central and peripheral nervous system, right? And it also helps with neurotransmission as well. And so these are just some key nutrients I did want to review. And then vitamin D is also important because there are vitamin D receptors located in areas of our brain that play a role in mood and emotional regulation. Think prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. So these areas of the brain, there are vitamin D receptors that are concentrated in these areas. And again, these areas of the brain regulate mood regulation and emotional regulation. So there's that running joke in the wintertime when there's a shortage of sunlight that people endure seasonal depression. And while this is a joke, it's also a lot of truth to this because, of course, we know the sunlight plays a role in our ability to absorb, and then the body then, breaks down, and transmit the sunlight, and able to, the body, receives the sunlight and is able to then synthesize the active form of vitamin D within our body through biochemical processes. And then again, if we have a reduction in vitamin D, especially when there's a reduction in sunlight, this then will affect our regulation of mood and emotional health. And so just some key nutrients to think about: magnesium, zinc, iron, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids, as they play a very important role in our brain health. And so I hope you learned something new today and that you have a really good understanding of nutritional psychiatry, the shortened version of it, because it is complex, but I did want to provide a very brief overview and just an overview of key nutrients that are important when we think about our brain health, cognitive function, mood regulation, emotional regulation, and psychological processes. And so I appreciate you for checking in with me. Again, I'm Amir Nazir. I'm an inner wealth champion, and I wish you all inner wealth, which we know is the overall state of our holistic health.